Have you heard the saying that you're not well dressed until you wear a smile? Well, they lied. You're not well dressed until you wear a scent. What's up, neighbors? I'm Tinashe and welcome back to the GentNextDoor. This channel is about helping men turn their image into an asset. So if you're new to the channel, welcome, like and subscribe, and let's not waste any more time and get on with today's video. If you're familiar with my channel, you will know that I'm a big believer in that first impressions are lasting impressions. When it comes to our style, we want to leave a lasting impression visually, but also we want to assault the senses and leave an olfactory delight. So first up, we're going to talk about the semantics. We're going to define what's the actual difference between cologne, aftershave, perfume, and what about all those French terms that you see on perfume bottles? Eau de toilette, eau de cologne, and eau de parfum. What is the difference? Is it just different words for the same meaning? It's time for school. Aftershaves are designed primarily to disinfect freshly shaved skin. The alcohol kills the surface bacteria, disinfects any nicks, simultaneously speeds up the healing process. A common mistake guys make is using an aftershave as a cologne. Aftershaves typically contain a small amount of aromatic compounds, around 1 to 3%, so they do not make for a long-lasting fragrance, which makes them unsuitable to use as a daily fragrance. Eau de cologne, commonly known as cologne, is the universal term used to describe perfume for men, both in the UK and across the world. It derives its name from the German city, you guessed it, Cologne, and most studies suggest that it dates back to the 1700s. Eau de cologne is a higher grade of fragrance than aftershave, aromatic compounds making up around 7%. So yes, eau de cologne is a solid baseline to use as a daily fragrance. Eau de toilette. Eau de toilette is the next grade up from eau de cologne. It translates in French literally as toilet water. So not the most flattering translation, but it sounds much better if you say it in French, which is probably why marketers decide to use that term. Eau de toilette has a concentration of compounds coming up to around 10%. Its origins are disputed, but it's widely regarded as being coined in Hungary as early back as the 13th century. Eau de parfum. Eau de parfum is what we commonly call perfume. It contains around 15% essential fragrance compounds, making it the strongest and longest lasting scent you can buy today. You spend more money to get it, but its potency means you only need to use a small amount. It's important to caveat that the fragrance industry is poorly regulated, so these terms are used interchangeably, and actually sometimes you may buy something that says eau de parfum on it and it actually doesn't have 15% or more fragrance, it has less, but they're just using the term to market the product. So it's good to do a little bit more research and just find out genuine products that are packaged and presented and you actually get what you're paying for. So I thought it was important for me to point that out. Now, there is a whole science behind choosing a cologne, which we'll go through in another video. But today, let's start discussing on how you should apply cologne correctly, like a grown man. The first step to applying your fragrance properly is timing. The best time is after you've got out the shower and moisturized your skin. Some people say you should spray before you moisturize, but you need to capture and lock in moisture into your skin. So put your moisturizer on first. At this point, your pores swell up, making it easier for the essential oils in the cologne to mix with the moisture on the surface of your skin. The next step is make sure that you apply the cologne or the spray or the perfume onto your skin, not your clothes. Now, it sounds like common sense to spray your cologne on your clothes, since they are technically the closest part of you that's in touch with others. If they smell nice, surely you smell nice, right? Well, I'm going to debunk this. A fragrance needs to anchor itself to a surface to unravel and release its aroma. But remember, the aroma in the perfumes is oil. The fragrance seeps through the fibers and the oil evaporates. In general, fibers don't make a good surface for oils and fragrances to cling onto. The fragrance lasts far longer on skin than it does on clothes. The next step is your technique. You want to apply the fragrance around 10% away from your skin. This allows the fragrance to land on a reasonable proportion of your skin, so it mingles with your natural scent without being wasted. Now, do not rub the fragrance. You may be in the bad habit of spraying it on one wrist and rubbing it onto the other, but this creates heat and quickly evaporates the oil, significantly reducing its lasting potential. Apply the fragrance to your pulse points. This is where your veins are closer to your skin surface, making these areas emit more heat throughout the day than the rest of your body. They make perfect places to spray your cologne because the fragrance lifts and diffuses with that heat, maintaining its aroma for longer in the day. On the wrists and under the neck are obviously prominent and popular spots, but in addition, you should spray on your inner elbows, cleavage of your chest, behind your earlobes, and even behind your knees. The final point is, don't overdo it. Particularly now, as you know the concentration of each type of fragrance, the stronger the fragrance, the less of it you need to apply. As long as you follow the steps that I've highlighted, a quick spray on each pulse point should suffice. People will smell you, don't worry about it. An overpowering fragrance is borderline antisocial. So that is a guide on how to apply cologne properly. That comes from my own research and experience. I've tried this. This is how I apply my cologne every morning, and it has never let me down. Throughout the day, the fragrance lasts longer and I use less of it, which means that my money goes longer as well. So guys, do give it a go. Try this, put this into your normal grooming routine and give me some feedback. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you apply your cologne and how that's working for you. And if this video has been useful, let me know in the comments and of course, share with a friend. Remember to like and subscribe if you're new. Share this video with a friend if you found it useful, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.